Here's the plan. We're gonna make our way to Grand Canyon with a quick pit stop at Hoover Dam. And from Grand Canyon, we're gonna go back to San Francisco. Enough planning, let's get into the video. And make sure you subscribe. We hit the road at high noon because waking up early is like kryptonite to Batman for me. Wait. Our first stop, Boulder Dam, or as the cool kids say nowadays, Hoover Dam. Ansel Adams himself visited Hoover Dam back in 1941 before it was renamed back to Hoover Dam. And just like moths to car headlight, I gotta do whatever Ansel Adams did, so here I am. I'll be shooting all my 35mm film on Nikon F, which is basically AK-47 of cameras. You probably will say bullets from AK-47. That's a conversation for a different day. Where was I? Oh yeah. As for the film, I'll be shooting expired Kodak Gold 100 and expired Kodak 400 black and white C41 film. There were a lot of people on top of the dam, so you're damn right, I gotta shoot some street style photos. You know that feeling when you just had a really nice meal and now you have something wedged between your teeth and you're trying to dislodge it with your tongue and you finally do it? Yeah, that satisfied feeling. Well, that's how I felt when I got that next shot. A nice leading line in the foreground leading to these people admiring the Hoover Dam and the beautiful hill in the background. Man, I love this shot. Oh yeah, I also saw this thing that Percy Jackson and the gang flew on out of Hoover Dam in the movie Attack on Titans. Kodak 400 CN is basically like Ilford XP2, but unlike Ilford XP2, Kodak killed it and buried it in an unmarked grave on the side of the road somewhere. I shot this scene twice, once with 35mm and then with 50mm. I do think that the 50mm looks slightly better, aided by the change in composition and the slight compression that it added to the shot. Hoover Dam was damn beautiful, but we have places to be and things to shoot. On film, obviously. So we hit the road again. I only had few shots left on my black and white film, and with the rest of the film in the trunk, I decided to shoot digital. Because of this blasphemy, all the film gods cursed me and turned all my film cameras into that sketchy Yashica camera. After a long ride with beautiful landscape and quite a few gas stations, we're finally in Flagstaff, Arizona. We checked into the hotel and I immediately got to work. I needed to make sure that everything was right for Grand Canyon the next day, so I cleaned everything, packed all the rolls of film that I needed. After doing all the prep, we went outside to get some food. Something crazy was, even in this small city, there was a absolutely amazing Nepali restaurant there. If you don't know Nepali food, it's basically the best food in the world. If you haven't had Nepali food, I highly recommend it. After a good night's sleep and a really early hotel breakfast, we were ready to hit the road, but Mother Nature had a different plan. The view was beautiful, but it was freezing outside. The door, windshield, everything was frozen solid, and it felt even colder inside the car. You know, I sometimes feel like landscape photography is the easiest type of photography to get into, but the hardest one to master. I'm not even near Grand Canyon and I'm already feeling that imposter syndrome, but there are still photographers like Ansel Adams, David Emil, who managed to make these beautiful places look even more beautiful in their photos. But enough of me whining. We are at Grand Canyon and I gotta lock in. It was high noon, so the most logical thing to do would be to shoot black and white, but ignoring my own advice, I loaded some Portra 160 on my Mamiya 6. There were nice shades of orange and blue throughout the Grand Canyon, so I thought I would take chances with color film because it looks absolutely beautiful. This was my first time shooting Portra 160 in media format ever, and I really wanted to compare it to Kodak Gold 200, which I believe is one of the best film ever made. With all the photos at Grand Canyon, I was focused on creating depth in my shots by trying to have something in the foreground, midground, and the background. And honestly, I feel like these photos do that. Even though it was midday, the sun wasn't that high in the sky because it was winter time, so the light was coming at an angle, creating these interesting shadows. And in this case, I think it really helped to show the textures of the Grand Canyon. While waiting for the shuttle to get to the other side of the viewing point, I decided to finish this roll of Portra 160. After using the only good public transportation in the United States and having finished my roll of Portra 160, I decided to roll Kodak Gold 200 while I was waiting for the restroom. As I mentioned earlier, Kodak Gold in 120 is one of the best films ever made, and it hardly disappoints for the price. Even though it has slightly less dynamic range compared to Portra, but medium format being such a big sensor size, it really does not matter, you still get a really good tonal range. Throughout the time I was taking photos at Grand Canyon, there was something in my mind. I had fallen in this trap of wanting to go to a grander place to take better photos, and everything around me felt kind of boring. And now I'm here at Grand Canyon. It is as grand as it gets. I'm a little nervous about taking photos here, or maybe it's just me overthinking and undershooting. This photo is mainly inspired by Mark Klett and Byron Wolf's work. I wanted to create a triptych of the same scene. While expensive, this shot does not look as good without having any dynamic shadows crossing the scene. I really do love having shadows in my frame. I believe it helps to elevate the photo. Next few shots are some of my favorites though. A great sense of depth, great leading lines, and interesting subjects. Looking at these photos now, I feel like they work really well together as part of a series rather than just on their own. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it will work really well if someday I decide to release my own book, just like Ansel Adams. I really want to talk a little bit more about Kodak Gold in 120. It is a really good film stock to start off if you're shooting medium format. It is frankly the cheapest. It's sometimes cheaper than most black and white film stock. It has a really good color reproduction, and medium format means that it has really good detail as well. That being said, I'm not biggest fan of Kodak Gold in 35mm. Some people seem to get really good results out of it, but it seemed to not work for me most of the time. Anyways, we had to leave Grand Canyon because we wanted to stop for a quick bite and wanted to make one more stop before we go to Flagstaff. We went to Snowball, Arizona, which is a ski resort next to Flagstaff. We did not do any kind of skiing or anything, we were just there to see the sunset. The view was amazing and the light was absolute cinema. So I loaded my last roll of Kodak Gold and started shooting. I really love these shots. I think they look really beautiful, and the warm punchy tones of Kodak Gold seem to work really well with these photos. I took this photo mainly because I was really interested by the moon in the scene, but looking back you can barely see the moon in the frame, but it's still a really good photo and I really like it. Out of all these shots in the row, I really love the last one. It has really nice tonal range throughout the sky, and I really dig the composition. I think it looks beautiful. That night we stayed at Flagstaff and hit the road early next day as we had to reach San Francisco by night that same day. We stopped at this random roadside area which had beautiful rolling hills, and I had to photograph it. Because it was overcast, it looks very moody and I really dig the look. The drive was so long and I didn't even drive, but still was so tired. After sleeping all my tiredness away, we went to Half Moon Bay the next day for a nice relaxing day. Obviously, I took my film cameras with me to take some absolute bangers, and bangers were indeed taken. Black and white film midday is frankly a cheat code, and so is expired Kodak Gold 100 shot at 50 ISO midday. As that was my last day in West Coast, I thought to finish off all my rolls that same day. And even though I was rushing for some of these shots, I kinda liked them. We spent most of the day by the Pacific shore, and as the light dipped, it got prettier and prettier. After this long trip, what was the moral of the story? Landscape photography is hard, not impossible. Did I get better at it? No. I don't think I will be able to even answer that question without traveling to all the national parks that Ansel Adam traveled to and seeing how I'm yet to travel to all the national parks. I think I still have a long way to go. So I guess stay tuned, see me travel to more places and take more photos. Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. I'll be going to Chicago the next video and you will be forced to join me. I'll see you there.